Whereas the Cabinet Secretary for Education has submitted the charter to me with recommendations thereon. And whereas I, William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of the Republic of Kenya, am satisfied that the granting of charter to Amref International University will be of benefit to the advancement of university education in Kenya. Now whereof, by this presence, be it known that in exercise of powers conferred upon me under Section 19 of the Universities Act, Cap 210, Laws of Kenya, I, William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, hereby grant the charter annexed hereto to Amref International University on this 19th day of November in the year of the Lord 2025. Congratulations. Thank you very much. We gather to honor Amref International University, an institution that has earned its place as a leader in health sciences in this continent. This charter is not a symbolic gesture. It is a recognition of excellence, integrity, and demonstrated impact. It is an acknowledgement that when institutions align purpose with action, they transform societies. One of the most remarkable things about Amref International University is that its story did not begin in lecture halls or boardrooms. It began in villages, clinics, and communities across Africa. Before there were classrooms, there were outreach teams. Before there were degree programs, there were health workers trained to serve where the need was greatest. Before titles and credentials, there was trust earned through service, compassion, and results. That is why today's honor carries deep meaning. You have built credibility from the ground up or from the bottom up, anchored in real human need. This university stands as a powerful example of Africa's capacity to produce knowledge, craft solutions, and shape its own future. Since its establishment in 2017, it has grown from the strong foundation of Amref Health Africa, an organization with nearly 7 decades of service to community health in more than 30 countries. What began as Amref International Training Center has evolved into a premier Pan-African university dedicated to training health professionals who lead with innovation, empathy, and integrity. As Amref International University receives its charter, we recognize not only an institution, but also a philosophy that Africa's challenges can be solved by African institutions. African ideas and African leadership can contribute meaningfully to solutions for our region. To the founders and early champions of this university, you dared to imagine that the continent could build its own centers of medical excellence. You refused to wait for solutions from elsewhere. You built them here at home, and we applaud your courage, your vision, and your relentless service to humanity.
The charter that you've given us today is more than a legal document, is more than legal recognition. It is a statement of confidence and credibility that your government our country hosts has in the mission of Amref Health Africa. It affirms strongly our commitment to shaping Africa's health future through fit-for-purpose and community-led primary healthcare with innovation at the center of it. And as you know, at this time of big withdrawals in development assistance, health sovereignty is so critical. And allow me again to address you specifically and say, I appreciate you joining President Mahama in leading the Accra Reset to establish health sovereignty for this continent, that actually the continent must own its health agenda, must own the destiny of its people, and that doesn't mean that we work alone. It means that even if we do it ourselves, we will not do it alone. So thank you for joining President Mahama in creating the agenda for health sovereignty for this continent. Allow me to applaud the professionalism of the Commission. I will tell you tongue-in-cheek that since this process started with the university, I had never met Professor Kuria, I've never met Professor Awino. I met them yesterday. Yesterday is when I got their numbers for the first time. I never had to call them to ask, can we accelerate this process? That for me is testimony to the professionalism of the Ministry of Education and the Commission. So, and now that we have the charter, I can host them for Nyamachoma because now there will be no conflict of interest. To your government, thank you for your stewardship and partnership in advancing the health of the Kenyan people. To our continental government partners and the global partners, thank you for trusting us to advance the health of the citizens of our continent. To the philanthropists who support us, private sector and academia, thank you for finding us worthy of advancing our joint mission. And to all our offices of Amref Health Africa globally, we have about more than 10 offices in Europe and America that help us with fundraising, but they are represented here as well. We have the unit of Amref Flying Doctors, which is granted the tax exemption set up by your government because anything they do then support the charity work. They're represented here, and of course, all the work we do in all the governments. We invite all of you to work with us as we build the leading health sciences institution for Africa. For any of you who want to support our student scholarships, our advancement, any of these buildings is available for you to name. So you can call it Professor Kuria Academic Block, you can call it Excellency President William Samoei Ruto Simulation Laboratory. And for all that, you assist us to move forward the scholarships. Yesterday, the Chancellor met the students, and she had a very hard time because the students kept asking her, how do we advance scholarships? Because you have so many poor students, very bright, and they want to change their communities, but they can't afford the fees. We use a cross-subsidization model where those who can afford pay market rates and those who can't afford are provided subsidized fees. So the scholarship agenda is really great for us, and this is why we are providing all these institutions here, buildings, walkways, anything here can be named for a fee, and that goes to student scholarships. If your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. So we are not tired of dreaming. And after this charter, the next dream is to establish a level 6 research, teaching, and referral hospital that's going to be focused on something that's very close to your heart, maternal health and child health. You know, Your Excellency, that the continent of Africa loses mothers needlessly to preventable causes, and we know that when mothers die, the chance of the child to die is increased by 50%. So mother and child health is combined, but this has to be built on the base of community health systems, which you are a true believer in, and building a robust, people-centered and community-led primary healthcare, which also is our global strategy. So with this, we intend to build a beacon of science, service, and compassion as our teaching hospital, specifically to my right behind this tent. And we will be inviting you and the government to partner with us to establish this state-of-the-art teaching referral university. Excellency, today is a milestone as we receive this charter here at the Northlands campus, a campus variously referred to many as the best private university infrastructure. And I think you're here to witness this for yourself. And I dare say, the only one that's qualified and pursuing green building certification under the IFC. We have a lot of solar lighting here, water recycling, and everything else that reduces our energy demands by more than 25%. We warmly welcome you to this magnificent modern campus, made possible by our benefactors who have been named here, the Kenyatta family and Mackenzie Scott, who gave us the money to construct. And this campus enables us to move from a capacity of 2,000 students constrained in Langata, and this campus now can host 10,000 students in a combined model of virtual and physical learning. So we can absorb up to 10,000 students without needing to expand this infrastructure.
This institution has grown from a medical foundation that began in the field where health challenges were real and communities needed skilled and compassionate hands. The many years of experience and capacity that Amref has built over the years and over the decades have formed a foundation that interfaces education, health, and community service, and through this university, it will continue to do so. With this charter, the institution will now be positioned to play an even greater role in providing education and training that responds to real needs of Kenya, Africa, and the world, and especially in the health sector. Your Excellency, as we commend the leadership of the university of this remarkable milestone, we also call upon them to rise to the occasion of this new status. The gains that have been made over the years, such as partnerships with the premier health organizations like the World Health Organization and the Africa Centers for Disease Control, must be consolidated. At the same time, the university must break new ground and conquer new frontiers to enhance its relevance and sustainability in an ever-changing environment. Your Excellency, under your leadership, we will continue the work of creating and enabling legal and policy environments so that our institutions of higher learning can thrive and remain fit for purpose. As I conclude, I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate Amref International University fraternity for the hard work, commitment, and sacrifices that have been made this remarkable milestone achievable. I'm confident that with the same spirit and drive, this institution will grow from strength to strength and transform the lives of many in our society and beyond.
I'm deeply grateful to join you on this historic day as we receive the charter and I assume the role of the Chancellor of this prestigious institution. This is a profound honor and responsibility. AMU stands on the legacy of the Amref International Training Center, which for over 40 years trained frontline health workers across Africa. Since becoming a university in 2017, we have grown significantly, graduating more than 2,000 students who now serve in communities and health systems across the continent. Our programs have expanded to 7 postgraduate degrees, 12 undergraduate degrees, 9 diplomas, and many certificate and short courses, supported by committed faculty and a strong alumni network. Your Excellency, we are honored to host you at this great campus, built to serve up to 10,000 students, most of whom will study online from various places across the continent. We thank our benefactors, including the Kenyatta family, Mackenzie Scott, and other partners for making all this possible. Research and innovation remain central to our mission, with partners such as the Mastercard Foundation, the EU, and Novo Nordisk Foundation. We continue to strengthen Africa's public health research and workforce. Our impact has been recognized in the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings, placing us among Kenya's top institutions. As we chart the next phase, we remain committed to advancing knowledge that transforms health across Africa. I look forward to working with our community to elevate AMU's reputation, deepen partnerships, and expand innovation. Your Excellency, thank you very much, and thank you to the Commission for University Education for your continued support. May this charter inspire us to reach even higher. Together we will shape the future of Africa's health. Thank you very much.